Hi, I just want to welcome everybody this Sunday morning to a celebration of Huma, Baba's pen name for his poetry. We have Elaine Cox and Cathy Riley and Farish Day and Sally and a few more contributors that are going to be here this morning to bring us the information, songs, and some history. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Cathy Riley. She's going to give us some history of Baba's time as Huma. And at the same time, if it's okay, I'm going to put up a PowerPoint with Baba's history and some photos. All right. Cathy, you're up.
Jai Baba, what an honor to share stories about Meher Baba's Huma years. Meher Baba composed many ghazals and artis in his earlier years. Many were composed by young Meherwan, you see here, in his high school and college days. Some were written later, like the Gujarati Arti, which Baba composed in 1926 at age 32. A few were composed still later in his life. Today, we'll be talking about these wonderful songs. Meherwan took the pen name Huma, which denoted the mystical Persian bird, the phoenix, the bird of paradise. There are some beautiful descriptions in Lord Meher of these early years, and I'd like to read a few of these passages. So from volume 1, during these school years, now this is talking about St. Vincent's, when let's see, Baba was, what was he? 15, 16, 17. During these school years, Meherwan composed poetry in the languages of Gujarati, Urdu, Hindi, and Persian. The poetic themes were invariably spiritual, emphasizing virtues over vices and the forces of good over evil. His poems spoke of the mystical Sufi tavern or wine shop, describing divine madness and God intoxication, spiritual longing. Although still a teenager, he possessed an uncanny, deep wisdom. Meherwan composed verses, ghazals, songs, and hymns under the pen name Huma. With Meherwan's permission, his friend Bailey once mailed one of his Urdu ghazals to the popular Gujarati newspaper, the Sanj Vartman of Bombay, which published it under the pseudonym of Huma in its Saturday issue. Thereafter, every Saturday issue contained one of Huma's compositions in either Gujarati, Urdu, or Persian. Like the Bombay Samachar, another Gujarati newspaper, later the Bombay Samachar also published some of Huma's compositions. When, due to unavoidable circumstances, the publications ceased, readers clamored for more poems, a tribute to Meherwan's soul-stirring poetic ability. A little later, while at Deccan College, Meherwan also continued his writing. When time permitted, he would compose poems on religious themes, but he would also write humorous satirical poems to amuse his friends, which they liked and would sing aloud. In fact, Meherwan's college classmates and friends used to refer to him as the poet, sometimes calling him the ideal poet or the flower and doll poet, which denoted a person who is experienced in what he writes, is capable of dealing with a variety of subjects or themes, and would wield his pen in composing either long or short poems. He was also referred to as a, quote, born poet, close quote, who could rhyme effortlessly in 3 languages, Gujarati, Urdu, and Persian, on the most difficult and diverse subjects and themes. Often, for the sheer enjoyment of it, he would spontaneously compose a rhyme on any subject suggested by his friends. And I would like to read one more passage which brings me right there about Baba's beautiful singing voice. You know, Mary used to say Baba had such a beautiful singing voice. And this was a story later in 1914 or early 1915. Merwan decided to take his friends to Udwara, the holiest place of pilgrimage for the Parsis. So Merwan and 5 of his companions set out from Pune to Udwara to pay their respects at the oldest Zoroastrian fire temple in India. They spent 3 days there, and each morning the young men led by Merwan would visit the fire temple for prayers. Afterwards, they would sit under the shade of palm trees or take a walk along the sandy beach. On the first day, when it was time for their meal, Merwan's friends sat around a table, enjoying a delicious meat dish, while Merwan, as a sign of respect for the purpose for which they came, sat on the floor, eating only bread and potatoes. All 5 friends were impressed by his serious and devotional demeanor. The afternoons were very hot, and once, after finishing their lunch, the fellows decided to nap. As they were about to leave, Merwan began suddenly singing a song in Persian with deep fervor. His singing was so beautiful that it attracted all, and they began becoming completely oblivious of the extreme heat. The sweetness of Merwan's voice brought other guests out of the hotel. Everyone enjoyed his singing so much that they requested him to sing another and yet another. So he continued singing ghazal after ghazal. Some were commonly known, some of his own inspiration. An elderly gentleman was so affected that he remarked about Merwan in a pronounced manner. The glow on his face while he sang, and the ghazals he himself composed to the glory of God, led me to believe that one day he will be a great man whose name will be known throughout the world.
Jai Baba. Thank you. That was beautiful, Cathy. It's so nice to know more about Baba's early days and those times where he was at college and composing. I have a story here that it is a story about this gentleman. This is Sorabji Desai. And years before, during 1917, Merwan had sent a ghazal to Sorab Desai of Navasari. Sorab, whose nom de plume was Soma Desai, was a well-known Gujarati scholar and author of several books. Sorab was so inspired by this particular ghazal that he would read it several times each day and ardently wished to meet the composer. But he did not have the slightest idea who had written it. He had never heard of any writer named Huma. In Manzalimim, the biography of Upasni Maharaj was being written not only in Urdu, but in Gujarati and Marathi as well. The Gujarati author was Bailey, and for the Marathi version, Upasni had dictated certain points to Sarasiv Patel, who turned over the material to a well-known Marathi writer, Nath Madhav. When Bailey had finished his Gujarati account, Meher Baba sent him and Rustam to Sorab Desai in Navasari with a manuscript, requesting Sorab to edit the work. Bailey and Rustam duly informed him that they had been sent by Meher Baba with the order that he should do the final editing of the manuscript. Sorab was irritated at this and demanded, "Who is this Meher Baba to order me to edit his work? I am no one's servant. Besides, I have no time for such work. Tell Meher Baba I cannot help him." They tried their utmost to induce him to assist, but he was obstinate and returned the manuscript. Rustum and Beatty returned to Bombay and informed Baba. After a few days, Rustum was sent again with this message: "Sarab, only you can do this work. It is Meher Baba's wish." When Rustum delivered these words, Sarab was all the more annoyed. He said, "Who does Meher Baba think he is? Tell him not to be so arrogant." Rustum did his best to elucidate about Meher Baba, but Sarab refused to listen. On his return, Rustum narrated what had happened, and again Baba sent Bailey and Rustum with the manuscript and this third message: "These manuscripts of Upasni Maharaj's biography are presented to you by Huma, which is Meher Baba's pen name. This work must be done by you." Baba had told them to leave the manuscript there and not to say anything else. When Sarab saw Rustum and Bailey again at his doorstep, he shouted, "Why have you both come back to pester me?" But without giving him any further chance to protest, they delivered Baba's message, left the manuscript there, and soon departed for Bombay. They had no idea that for the past 5 years, Sarab had longed to meet the poet Huma. Hearing the name Huma had a profound effect upon him, and he immediately calmed. He read the ghazal by Huma again. Tears came to his eyes, and he touched his forehead to the manuscript papers in reverence. Shortly thereafter, he wrote to Meher Baba, "Sir, please excuse me. I bow down to your order. You have stolen my heart long ago, but only today in the secret of your identity revealed. Your Layla is unique. I am yours, Sarabji." He began editing the work, during the course of which he had various spiritual experiences. He would write to Meher Baba about some clarification in the manuscript, and no sooner had his letter been posted than Baba's letter containing the answer to his questions would arrive that very day. Jai Baba. Okay. Now, Cathy, I know you were going to speak and introduce Elaine to this mix. I'm going to turn it over to Cathy.
Such a touching story, isn't that? Such a beautiful story. And that, I understand, that was Mansari's uncle. I think you might have said that. So we are also thankful to Elaine for collecting the ghazals, putting them into first cassettes and then later into CDs. And it was mentioned by her that there were over 50 ghazals written down, and that she recorded 22 of them, and she is going to be talking about that now. So thank you, Elaine, for this incredibly important work that you've done.
Go ahead and unmute.
Okay, am I unmuted?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I've lost the picture, but you can see me, right?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yeah, the story of how Cathy wanted me to tell the story of how I came to do this work of gathering the ghazals and gathering them from the women mandali, exactly as Baba taught them to sing them. In other words, the ghazals are written down, but I wanted to record how Baba had them sung, because I didn't want to lose the sound of the way he wanted them. So it was in 1989, was when our dearest Mera passed into Baba's embrace. To me personally, this was absolutely devastating. And I arrived in India shortly thereafter. bringing the first copies of the book, Mehra. I'd been one of those working on the printing of that book, and I felt not only the end of that work as it was finished, but the finish of so much. I was actually bereft. The next day after arriving at Meherzad, I was sitting on the veranda in that cement seat at the bottom of the stairs, feeling very down, with the thought in my head, what will I do now with the rest of my life? There was no one else there except Katie Irani sitting at the far end near Mara's seat. And she was singing to a young woman. And she was singing these beautiful songs from a small notebook in her hand. I did not understand the language, but the beauty and something about them just went right through me. And it's as if I didn't need to understand them. I thought to myself, this was a worded thought that came into my mind. These are so beautiful. How come no one has recorded them? And at that exact moment, a voice, neither male nor female, spoke in my left ear and said, Elaine, why don't you record them? In my mind, I answered, but I don't know how to do that. The nerve, right? The voice exactly repeated, Elaine, why don't you record them? And in that instant, I knew that it was Baba. Anyway, after my return to the US, I began putting it together. Wrote a letter to Mani, the chairman of the trust at that time, asking permission to do this project and receiving permission from her. So I went ahead with it. And that was my turning point. It began what I would do with the rest of my life. I was able to get from the women mandali and other family members all the ghazals that Baba had them learn and their translations. They helped me with, I just picked the brains of all of them and they helped me with these translations. He would show them exactly how to sing the tunes to each poem. And I feel so grateful that Baba has given me this work. As I said, it led to the path of the rest of my life. So, the first ghazal I want to sing is in Persian. And I have a translation here that was given to me by the women mandali. But translating these is not so simple. And I want to ask Fereshte to come on. And I've asked her to do her translation because I so admire her translations that I've heard of Hafez. And then I will read the translation from the women mandali so that you can see just how, how it may differ. So Fereshte, would you please give us your translation and unmute?
Jai Baba, thank you, Elaine, for giving me the amazing opportunity to wet my toes with Huma ghazals. And hopefully there'll be more of them in the future for me to do, because I love translating from Farsi to English, any Sufi, any love poem, anything in the praise of Baba and God. I don't dare say that my translations are better or worse or they might be slightly different. In this particular ghazal, I noticed a couple of points that I made to Elaine, which could have been women mandali were Parsi. They weren't really fluent in Farsi. And there could have been some little word or pronunciation or something that could have been different originally. So I gave it my best shot. The ghazal is Gonahkaram Valekan Khoshnasibam. Gonahkaram Valekan Khoshnasibam. Khudavanda Qaribam bas qaribam. This is incredibly beautiful. Every word is just shining with this incredible deep meaning. It says, I am a sinner. I am a sinner. However, I am most fortunate. Oh God, I am away from my home. I am far away from my real home. Rahem bar hal in meskin ata kon. And this is a word that I feel ata is the right word because of its deep meaning. Rahem bar hal in meskin ata kon ke dar ishq to man yek pa asiram. Bestow your mercy upon this poor beggar. Bestow your mercy upon this poor beggar, because I am ceaselessly ensnared in your love.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Now, this is a short ghazal. It only has 2 couplets. And I'll quickly read the translation given to me partly by Arnavas and partly by her sister, wrote a mystery, and Katie threw in her bit too. So this is what I put together from all that. Although I am a sinner, how fortunate am I? Oh God, I am a helpless stranger here in this realm. Have pity on the condition of this poor beggar, so that in love, you and I are entrapped as one. Excuse me. Gunegaram voleken khosh nasibam. Gunegaram voleken khosh nasibam. Kudavanda garibam basse garibam. Kudavanda garibam basse garibam. Gunegaram bolekin kushnasibam. Rahambar haleyin miskin adakun. Rahambar haleyin miskin gadakun. Kedarish ketoman yakatasiram. Kedarish ketoman yakatasiram. Munigaram volekin kushnasibam. Munigaram volekin kushnasibam. Jai Baba.
Oh, such a beautiful piece. Thank you. And thank you for a wonderful story.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just took us to the porch. Thank you. Jai Baba. All right. Cathy, I know you had a song you were going to do.
Trying to come back from the porch.
Don't come back. Just sing on the porch.
Oh, yeah, boy. Yeah, yeah. Oh, golly, that was so beautiful. Thank you. Ishtiake is one of the other many songs that Huma wrote. And I remember Khorshid telling me that in 1932 and 1933, one of those years, she remembered that Baba dictated on the board to her, sing this song first whenever you sing. This was when they were in Nasik. The translation, you can see, when your obsession for God becomes intense and goes beyond the limit, you will see his glory right in front of your eyes. How can I tell you what you become when you lose your ego? You yourself, the lover, will become the beloved. He whispered in my ear the secret behind the curtain. I will become all yours when you become all mine. A story that was shared by Terry Adams that I think is interesting is how this song was found in the pocket of one of Baba's jackets in the 30s. So Terry Adams writes, in 1972, I was holding a small white coat of Baba's from the early days when I felt a bulge in the breast pocket. Inside the pocket was a small folded up, very old piece of paper with Indian writing on it, Urdu to be exact. My sister Lynn and Clive who was given this jacket by Baba's brother Jal in 1971, were both present when I made this discovery. We sent the paper to Adi K. Arani for translation. A month or so later, Adi replied by saying it was Khorshid's handwriting and that Baba had dictated this to her to write down then and to put it in his pocket. Khorshid said Baba was speaking then. They were the words to the song Ishtiyake. I was thinking if everybody would remain muted, but please sing along because most people know this and it's just such a beautiful song. So I will be listening to the silent songs from all of you, I hope. So. Ishtiyake shok jabad se siva ho jayega. Ishtiyake shok jabad se siva ho jayega. Samane ako kevodal vanuma ho jayega. Samane ako kevodal vanuma ho jayega. Kya kahun ai dil ko कर तू क्या हो जाएगा. क्या कहूँ आई दिल को कर तू क्या हो जाएगा. Vasile haka hoga bande se kuda ho jayega. Vasile haka hoga bande se kuda ho jayega. कान में आकर के वो कहे गाए मुझे पर्दे की बात. कान में आकर के वो कहे गाए मुझे पर्दे की बात. माई तेरा हो जाऊंगा जब तू मेरा हो जाएगा मैं तेरा हो जाऊंगा जब तू मेरा हो जाएगा इश्तिया के जो शौक जब हद से सिवा हो जाएगा सामने आँखों के ओझल वानुमा हो जाएगा
Wonderful.
Jai Baba,
Thank you,
Baba.
Kathy.
Thank you, Baba.
Sweet,
Mhm.
sweet, sweet.
So beautiful. Just beautiful. Thank you, Cathy.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Baba. And thank you for all this wonderful ability to sing along, because people have just taken this and made it easy for me to try to approach this language. And then the translations below, it's just beautiful. Thank you, whoever, both of you, I guess.
Yeah, thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Baba.
Mhm.
And Cathy, you were going to, I think you're going to read a little bit of read the translation of this next ghazal, and then we had a video that we'd play after. Is that right?
Okay, so I had asked Elaine to do it because she has
Okay.
dramatic Indian import,
Excellent.
and it's a sort of a fun song that she can put all the happy, Baba energy into it.
Okay. I'd be happy to read the translation. This is, many of you may have seen the twins do this song. They love doing this song because it is very lively, especially the way they do it. And it has, a slight sense of humor. Baba is, so I just wanted to always read the translation first and then to hear the music. Okay. This one is called Likan Paranase. Reading and writing will not win over the friend. Remember that beloved with every breath. Even in the midst of separation, there is union. As the question exists within the answer. Some want honor, some want a sweetheart. Some want worldly treasures like Karun. And Karun was a famously wealthy man in the Middle East. Just the keys to his treasury filled 100 caravans. Finally, his treasure sank into the earth, so great was its weight. That is the myth of Karun. Some desire pomp, some exaltation. Others wish for beauty of face and form. Some want to know God internally. Some want his dazzling appearance. Some desire that which is forbidden. Others are allowed everything. Some seek a secluded forest life, while others follow the fashion of the world. Some desire biryani, others chicken. Someone else, korma. Some only want vegetable or dal. Some reach for the dust at God's threshold, while others seek the red ruby of prosperity. Excuse me. Living in the dust, Huma says, O Meher, for us it is only the glory of God. So, next will be the twins actually doing it.
Thank you. It'll just take me a second to get that queued up. Sure we got some sound. Here we go. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, technology is not always friendly. So I'm going to stop this and come back in. See if I can connect with this link. Baba.
Sweetie, I think it might help if you share your desktop rather than the email application.
Well, I'm not sure I have it on the email. I don't know that I have it on the desktop. So have you any ideas about how to put it there, or
Oh, wait, what is it in?
it's in an email?
Okay, then open your email
Yes.
and have it ready and then screen share, but instead of share that particular application, which is email, share your entire desktop with sound on and all that good
Got
stuff.
it. Yeah. Okay. And then I have to click on the email to share it.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. And now
Yeah.
hopefully click on that.
Yep. There, Baba. Yeah. All right. Let me just take another second. For some reason, this is being obstreperous. So we'll just take a second while I figure it out. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Technology, my favorite thing.
Don't you love it?
Yeah, these are a few of my favorite things. Okay. All right, we'll try this again. Mayor Baba. I didn't take Baba's name first, so there you go. Jay Baba. All right. All right. Avatar, Mayor Baba, Ki Jay.
Okay, I have a feeling Zoom doesn't like things to be open from a Google Drive. So
Yeah.
what you need to do is get out of Zoom, open it on your desktop,
Yeah,
and then share screen.
and seriously, yeah.
I think so.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I didn't follow your directions. Let me follow them explicitly. We'll stop
All right.
share. I'll open this on my desktop.
Click the link on your desktop.
Yeah, I got it.
And then get the video going.
Yeah, it's still not quite working that way either. Baba.
Oh dear, have you opened it before?
Yeah.
Do you want to send it to me?
Yep. Yep. I could do that.
Meherazad@gmail.
Yeah, with all those Persian vibes, it might come through.
Woo! Yeah, you're right about that. Hang on 1 second. All right, let's forward this on to my girl. And you said it's F.
It's Meherazad@gmail.
There you are. Got it. And here she comes. And let me make you get my mail out of the way. Go away. Okay. Let me make you co-host.
While this is techno is unglitching, it's interesting to me that Rustam, when I emailed him and asked him if he would have some recording of this to share with us, he said that he and Saurabh never sang it for Baba, that it was after Baba dropped his body that Mani helped put it together. So that this interesting historically. I always just imagined that, you know, that they had sung this for Baba, but it's more recent.
Ruthie.
Okay.
Okay, I've got it opened. Meher Baba, let's see if I can screen share.
Say something in Farsi.
Baba Jundu Setaram.
Ah, okay, that'll do it.
Share sound. Okay, Baba. To share your computer, please install. What?
Oh, it does that sometimes too, but there it is.
Yeah, isn't it a sweetie?
Yeah.
All right, so can you guys see it?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yay. Thank you, Farste.
Thumbs up.
That's great.
I'm happy.
प्रियतम बाबा गजल लिखा करते थे हुमा के नाम से और बाबा के प्रियतम मेरा को ये गजल उनका सबसे फेवरेट था लिखने पढ़ने से नैया लिखन पढ़न से नयार बाजी सनम का हरदम याद होना सनम का हरदम याद होना सनम का हरदम याद होना याद में भी विशाल होना याद में भी विशाल होना जवाब में भी सवाल होना जवाब में भी सवाल होना जवाब में भी सवाल जवाब में भी सवाल होना जबन बरन से नयार बाजी जबन बरन से नयार बाजी सनम का हरदम ख्याल होना सनम का हरदम ख्याल होना सनम का हरदम ख्याल किसी को इज्जत किसी को दिलबर किसी को काल का माल होना किसी को इज्जत किसी को दिलबर किसी को काल का माल होना किसी को हशमत किसी को अजमत किसी को हशमत किसी को अजमत किसी को को जंगले की आरज़ू है, किसी को फैशन की चाल होना, किसी को बिरयानी मुर्गी कुरमा, किसी को बिरयानी मुर्गी कुरमा, किसी को भाजी या दाल, किसी को भाजी या दाल, किसी को भाजी या दाल, लिखन पढ़न से तैयार बाजी, लिखन पढ़न से तैयार बाजी, सनम का हरदम ख्याल होना, सनम का हरदम ख्याल होना, सनम का हरदम ख्याल होना। किसी को यज़दां के घर की बेटी, किसी को याकूत लाल होना है, किसी को यज़दां के घर की बेटी, किसी को याकूत लाल होना है। मैं तो कहता है खाई हुआ, मैं तो कहता है खाई हुआ, हमें तो रब्बुल जलाल होना, हमें तो रब्बुल जलाल होना, हमें तो रब्बुल जलाल होना, हमें तो रब्बुल जलाल होना। लिखन पढ़न से तैयार बाजी, लिखन पढ़न से तैयार बाजी, सनम का हरदम ख्याल होना, सनम का हरदम ख्याल होना, सनम का हरदम ख्याल होना। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय, यस्तान मेहर बाबा की जय, परवरदिगार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Oh, they get
That
the
was
love
great.
going.
That is so great.
Wow.
Well, should we go around window by window for comments? That was just fabulous.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
that's wonderful.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
welcome.
really. Mara's face looked like a heart. I've never seen her face look so much like a perfect heart. Whew. All right. Sally, I think you're next. If you're ready, I have the lyrics. I'll put them up for you, for us rather. You know.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba, everyone. Can you hear me okay, Ruthie?
Yes, sweetheart.
Okay, good. Jai Baba. I also see that now we have Jack and Gopal and Marta and Judy have joined. So Jai Baba to all. And actually, I have to share this that I was actually inspired by Elaine's singing. I used to drive to work back and forth, and I had the CDs in my car. Prakash had bought the double CDs for me, and I used to play them all the time in my car and listen to the ghazals and Elaine's translations and all the ghazals she sang. They inspired me to learn Huma ghazals, and that's how I got into singing them. So it's really beautiful. Thank you, Elaine, for all the work you did and how you got inspired by how Baba gave you that message. Go record them and do this. Beautiful. So can you hear the Tanpura? I have the drone going. Can you hear it?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, we
Okay.
can. Thank you, Sally.
Sure. And I have well, you can see the meaning of this ghazal. I'm singing Rehem Bina Koi Ram Na Aave. So I have the translation here by Nosharwan too. I'm going to read this. So the meaning here, it says, which is pretty similar to what we see on the screen. Without the attributes of mercy, God will not forgive. Without the gathering of companions, you cannot be intoxicated in love. No one in the world owes allegiance to anyone. Without God, there is no fulfillment. God's presence is in every breath. Without the grace of God, there is no nourishment. Without sorrow, there is no happiness. Without action, there is no reward. Without devotion, there is no liberation. Dusk always follows the light of dawn. Without God, everything is nothing. Without a master, there is no salvation. The name of God is constant on Huma's lips. For without speaking his name will not enter your being. Jai Baba. The word Rahem means mercy. रहम बिना कोई राम न आवे, जम के बिना कोई जाम न आवे। रहम बिना कोई राम न आवे, जम के बिना कोई जाम न आवे। कोई किसी का नहीं है जग में, राम बिना कोई काम न आवे। कोई किसी का नहीं है जग में, राम बिना कोई काम न आवे। हर दम में हाजिर है एक ही ईश्वर, हरि बिना कोई काम न आवे। हर दम में हाजिर है एक ही ईश्वर, हरि बिना कोई काम न आवे। रहम बिना कोई राम न आवे, जम के बिना कोई जाम न आवे। रंज बिना गंज मिलेगा कैसा, किए बिना कोई दाम न आवे। रंज बिना गंज मिलेगा कैसा, किए बिना कोई दाम न आवे। पहले है भक्ति, पीछे है मुक्ति, सुबह बिना कोई शाम न आवे। पहले है भक्ति, पीछे है मुक्ति, सुबह बिना कोई शाम न आवे। रहम बिना कोई राम न आवे, जम के बिना कोई जाम न आवे। राम सिवा है आखिरी सबको, मीम बिना कोई लाम न आवे। राम सिवा है आखिरी सबको, मीम बिना कोई लाम न आवे। हुमा के मुख नाम प्रभु है जारी, बोले बिना कोई नाम न आवे। हुमा के मुख नाम प्रभु है जारी, बोले बिना कोई नाम न आवे। रहम बिना कोई राम न आवे, जम के बिना कोई जाम न आवे। रहम बिना कोई राम न आवे, जम के बिना कोई जाम न आवे। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय जय बाबा.
Sally, could you put up that other translation that you read? That was beautiful too.
Sure.
Do you have it?
This was actually given to me by Noshirwan. I
Ah,
had asked him long time ago for a translation, and this was what he gave me. So I can share a copy of this with all. I can send it via email to everybody.
please do.
You're
Yes, thank you.
Jai Baba.
so beautiful, Sally. Just beautiful. Jay Baba. Oh. All right. I'm going to ask Elaine. You're already unmuted. All right. You were going to do, I'm not very good at pronunciation, so I'll let you say it. The
Okay,
next.
yes. Jab humne dil. Dil, means heart. Jab means when or what. It can be used several ways. Okay, and let me read the translation as the women have given it to me. When in my heart I saw the form of my beloved, wherever my glance fell, then I only saw God Almighty. He is that matchless one that appears in matchless form. I myself saw that unknown one manifested in thousands of forms when in my heart I saw the form of my beloved. Not only this entire world, but honor and religion too, I sacrifice to thee. My soul and its life, my very heart's blood, and everything else within me, I cast at your feet.
Before you start, would you read that again, because it was just transportive.
Okay, yeah,
Thank you.
this is a very it's at once heavy and lighthearted. It's all about heart. The word here is actually, he uses the word dil, which means love, but the very last line, my very heart's blood, it's more like a reference to that dark blood from the liver, but he doesn't say the liver. So, but it means, it's implying just, your gut, everything. So I just wanted to throw that in.
Jigar is liver, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
In Farsi too.
yes. Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, Jano Jigar Bidilbi. So he's saying my liver and the heart, the blood from my liver and my heart, even, and everything else within me, I cast down at your feet. Okay, when in my heart I saw the form of my beloved, can also mean the face. Whenever my glance fell, wherever my glance fell, I only saw God Almighty. He is that matchless one that appears in matchless forms. I myself saw that unknown one manifested in thousands of forms, when in my heart I saw the form of my beloved. Not only this entire world, but my honor and religion too, I sacrifice to thee. My soul and its life, my very heart's blood, and everything else within me, I cast at your feet. जब हमने दिल में अपने नक्शे निगार देखा, जब हमने दिल में अपने नक्शे निगार देखा, जिस जब नजर डाली परवरदिगार देखा. Hai benisha wo yakata, jab hai hazar paida. Hai benisha wo yakata, jab hai hazar paida. हमने तो ये कहीं को अंदर हजार देखा, हमने तो ये कहीं को अंदर हजार देखा, जब हमने दिल में अपने नक्शे निगार देखा. कुर्बान तुम पे दुनिया, इमा ओ दिन भी सदके. कुर्बान तुम पे दुनिया, इमा ओ दिन भी सदके. जानो जिगर भी दिल भी सब कुछ निजार देगा. जानो जिगर भी दिल भी सब कुछ निजार देगा. जब हमने दिल में अपने नक्शे निगार देखा, जिस जब नजर डाली परवरदिगार देखा. जय बाबा.
Sally. Oh, Baba, it's just so hard to even speak after these. They're just so beautiful.
Yeah, that one is not light entertainment.
You did a wonderful job, Elaine.
Oh, thanks.
You've been working.
Yes. Well, this is Baba gave me this.
Yeah, I should say you did.
I
Thank you.
can't tell you how wonderful it was to work with all the Mandali and family members. There were people living in America that helped me with translations, and one that even came up with a lost line for one of the ghazals, not one that I've sung today, but and that was yeah, they were living up in upstate New York, and
Yeah.
gave me a big help.
You sure
So-
we're digging. Yeah.
Hmm?
I was just saying, you sure we're digging for all the treasures that these ghazals
Oh,
bring us.
I went to everybody that would help me, that had an interest, and so many, almost everybody did. So many people were so interested in this, and you know, they helped me a lot. I mean, they did all the translating totally. And I have to always thank Rhoda Mystery, was a very important person in my life. And I don't think she ever knew that, but I really loved her, and she taught me how to pronounce in Urdu. You know, she helped me with pronunciation and the turn of a word, the emphasis and all of that. And she really taught me how to sing these things. So She also was a great contributor to translation. So I have nothing but thanks for any of this.
I had a question, but I think there are two people ahead of me.
Okay, I was going to jump into, but we'll start with Jack. Go ahead, Jack. You've been waiting a long time.
Oh, no. Waiting a long time is a big understatement. How about 70,000 years? Yeah. Hey, thanks for everything. It's really transcending. That last ghazal that Elaine sang just took me back to my first meeting with Baba.
Mm.
Anyway, Marge sent me seven or eight ghazals 10 ghazals actually from Nayashawan. And I want to read one called The Slave.
Mm.
Having renounced the world, I have become a seeker of God. The flame of desire is extinguished. The divine light is kindled. For the sake of God, I have starved my appetite, declined comforts. I no longer crave for the material, and my thirst is for oneness with God. Love with devotion. Through devotion, salvation. All attachments are severed. Now that I am drawn towards Him. When one is reduced to less than dust, one can attain God. In the service of God's server, one can truly serve God. And through suffering, I have gained a claim to Godhood. With the pricking of thorns has come the fragrance of flowers. Huma bestows all his love on a true slave of God, and yourself is separate from the slave, but you are becoming God's chosen slave. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Marge.
Elaine.
Wow. And I wonder, where do you know the source where she found them?
The Oshuan.
I see.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's, let's see, where's my, it's not working either. Nothing works on it. Marge is getting it.
Okay. Okay, great.
She's putting it up on the thing. Yes.
Up on the screen, or?
It's on. Ghazals by Mayor Baba, translated by, let's see, I don't remember I got it. I'll put the web in the chat.
Yeah, Oshuan translated.
Yeah, that'd be great. Put it in the chat, would be really helpful. Thank you both so much. Just amazing. Whew. All right. Ready?
Let's see. First, kind of a technical question, Elaine. Who did that beautiful calligraphy of the that we're seeing on screen?
Elaine,
Oh,
Thank
really?
she's a master
Oh, it's
calligrapher.
exquisite. It's exquisite. Wow. Oh, nice.
Many talents.
She's. You need to unmute, Elaine.
Wait, you're still muted, darling.
Muted. Yeah.
drives me nuts. I hit the button and it doesn't work. I must have no charge left in my fingers.
Baba loves technology.
Yeah, it does
Oh.
slow us down, doesn't it? And then it speeds us up and then it slows us down. Yeah. Okay, what was I saying?
You're beautiful. Yeah, it's so sort of free and it's
Well, thank you. What I'm trying to say is I am a calligrapher. I
ah
have been my whole adult life.
that explains it. Oh, okay.
And I like to make it, when I sing them, I have written them out in that large handwriting, but it's not like type, but it's very clear.
Mhm.
So that it's easy for me to read it without glasses. It's so simple. So that's why I wrote them out like that, so I could read them.
Thank
I
you
still
so
have
much.
Elijah up on the screen here on my, I don't know what's going on.
I'm not sure. I don't think she's. Oh, I have her spotlighted.
Yeah, you have to remove the spotlight.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
I did the spotlight. I don't know how I. Anyway, there.
Still
there we-
spotlight. No, now she's here.
Baba wanted her spotlighted, so what can I do?
Now you're back, Ruthie.
So also I noticed that Cathy has a couple of guests, and I wondered if did you intend that they would just speak or they just
We were thinking they might do some singing.
Actually,
Yeah.
I had forwarded Angela's original email to Gopal. He's in Cary, North Carolina, and he's on the call right now. So he might want to share. He had a ghazal to share, Baba's Huma ghazal.
Yeah, I just said his name. All right. Let's see, Gopal. Are you going to come on screen or are you going to leave Baba? I'm asking you to unmute. There you are.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
I thought there are like other people that wanted to go before me, right? Cathy or...
No.
You can go first. Yes.
We're looking for you, Gopal.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm going to do this Farhadne Jab Sunaya. Again, thanks to Elaine again. I'm inspired by the songs in the CD that she made and her translation as well. So I'll read the translation. It is the same translation that was read by Elaine in the CD. Whatever Farhad uttered, I'm sorry, I don't have a copy of it.
Oh.
I mean, I don't have a soft copy of it on my computer, so I cannot share it.
It's okay.
So, whatever Farhad uttered, it came from God Almighty. If you understand this sweet language, it's like the stars in the sky. Whatever you say, think first before speaking. Once it is out, you cannot take it back. The flower lasts only for 2 days. Spring goes by in a flash. Inform the nightingale, then this flower must end. Everything earthly will be left behind. It's time to remember the Lord as you leave only in your winding sheet. This world houses you for a little while. It is the marketplace of lives. Strike the deal based on your good deeds. Only they stay with you when you leave. Purify your heart. Don't give importance to the body. You take a body to come here, but leave with the soul. Why are you sighing, Huma, while leaving this house? When you go from here, you leave your brothers and sisters behind. फरहाद ने जब सुनाए अपना सजन से जाना, फरहाद ने जब सुनाए अपना सजन से जाना, सुनते हो शीरीन जबन को तारे गगन से जाना, सुनते वो शीरीन जबन को तारे गगन से जाना। अव्वल ख्याल कर तू फिर कुछ भी कहना कह दे, अव्वल ख्याल कर तू फिर कुछ भी कहना कह दे, वापस चवन आवे जिसका दहन से जाना, वापस चवन आवे जिसका दहन से जाना। सॉरी। दो रोज का बगीचा, दो पल की फूल बहारी, दो रोज का बगीचा, दो पल की फूल बहारी, बुलबुल को दे खबरिया, बुल को चमन से जाना, बुलबुल को दे खबरिया, बुल को चमन से जाना। रह जाए मल वो मिल कस्त दुनिया से चल डरेगी, रह जाए मल वो मिल कस्त दुनिया से चल डरेगी, यादें खुदा तू कर ले राहे कफन से जाना, यादें खुदा तू कर ले राहे कफन से जाना। दुनिया मकान फानी बाजार जिंदगानी, दुनिया मकान फानी बाजार जिंदगानी, नेकी का कर तू सौदा आखिर वतन से जाना, नेकी का कर तू सौदा आखिर वतन से जाना। कर पाक दिल को अपनी तन की न ले कबर तू, कर पाक दिल को अपनी तन की न ले कबर तू, खाकी ये तन से आके रूही बदन से जाना खाकी ये तन से आके रूही बदन से जाना क्यों आहो ना लाहूमा घर की जुदाई से हो क्यों आहो ना लाहूमा घर की जुदाई से हो जाना पिछल इधर से भाई बहन से जाना जाना पिछल इधर से भाई बहन से जाना फरहाद ने जब सुनाई अपना सजन से जाना सुनते वो शीरीन जबन को तारे गगन से जाना अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय
Oh, Gopal, that was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I just have to say this. I had heard that there's a difference between warm tears and cool tears, and that the difference was the warm tears, the hot tears were for yourself, but the cool tears were for God. And just as you were singing, one cool tear just trailed down my cheek. I hardly knew it escaped my eye. So I'm grateful. Che Baba. So beautiful. Betty, did you have something?
I do. I went busily hunting for a Huma poem just this morning. I did, and I found them in Lord Mayhair. But there's a bit of context around this, and I hope it's not too long. I don't. Yeah, we don't have a time limit, do we? So forgive me.
We just,
All right.
I don't know if Ravi, I know Ravi's waiting to sing as well.
Oh, then have Ravi sing. Yes, please.
I don't know what if he has time constraint. That's why I brought it up. Cathy, what do you think? You're still muted, dear.
Ravi was going to help lead with our final song.
Oh, perfect. Okay, then we'll wait for let Betty do her poem first.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Then I hope it's okay to read just the story behind. It's about a page in Lord Mayhair.
Sure. No, go ahead.
In the beginning, it's called Merwan is Born. In the beginning of 1917, Shariarji sold his tea shop, borrowed money, and obtained a license to open a toddy shop on Sachapir Street. Merwan started working in this new toddy shop 2 hours a day. He did all sorts of chores to help his father, washing and filling bottles, sweeping the floor, and selling drinks. At times when a customer became intoxicated from too much to drink, Merwan would sit with him and sing tukarangs, abdangs, devotional songs. The drunkard would merrily join in, clapping his hands and singing along in this manner. The toddy shop truly became a tavern of song, with Merwan as its keeper, distributing the wine of love to all who came there. At other times, Merwan would advise certain clientele to drink moderately or to abstain from liquor altogether. Some of these men he would not serve. When Memo heard about this, she rebuked her son, asking caustically, "Merog, are you trying to share in your father's business or trying to ruin it? What is wrong with you? If people stop drinking toddy, how will the business survive?" Bobo, appreciating Merwan's nature, paid little heed to Memo's remarks, and the customers too began addressing him respectfully as Merwanji. Although Merwanji was working hard each day in the toddy shop, actually he was still not completely gross conscious. His actions were governed solely by the impulses of the divine will manifesting through him. For example, one morning when Merwanji was riding his bicycle to the toddy shop, he sped past the shop, cycling as far away as the Mahabaleshwar Road, 8 miles out of Pune. Only when he had ridden halfway up on the Katraj Ghat Hill Road did he seemingly realize he was going in the wrong direction. As he was ascending the steep road, pedaling became difficult. Only then did it dawn on him that he was in the hilly regions headed toward Mahabaleshwar. He then rode back to Pune, arriving late at the toddy shop. On Friday, 16 February 1917, Merwanji composed an exceptionally beautiful ghazal. How wonderful is the murderous mercy of God! His mercy has adorned the rose with thorns. What justice exists in the glory of God? There is cruelty in his kindness. It matters not whether wine is accepted by any religion. I long for the intoxication of love. O God, what bliss lies in love's intoxication! The wine of man can never bestow it. One cannot experience love by reading books. Love can never be described in words. I have never read about real love, for it cannot be written. Portray love with the blood of your heart, and it will be yours. O God, grant me the gift of your union. I have died in your separation. But in your ledger you need not count the torments I am feeling away from you. Blood is spilling from my heart, which has become like minced meat. But missing is that salt which you sprinkle in the wounds of the heart. Why should one question the lovers of God about him? One should long to ask God directly. O God, you are found in the question as well as the answer. I have seen the same God everywhere. His abode is in every heart. God is the wine cellar in the house rich in purity, and he is ever present in the house of ruination. Why should one feel restless, experiencing misery, cruelty, and the difficulties of the world? O Huma, if God showers his mercy upon you, then pleasure is felt in pain. Merwanji considered this ghazal to be special, and after composing it, he mailed it to the well-known Gujarati author Soma Sorabji Desai of Navsari. Merwanji enclosed this note. Soma, I am sending you my humble ghazal, which I composed yesterday. Please accept it. A lover of God, Huma. This ghazal was to have a profound effect on Somai Desai, as we will see later.
And tell me the page that was.
That was page in 180, in 179, 180 in Lord Mayher, 1917, the year.
Thank you, dear. And okay, 178, 180. Beautiful. Jai Baba. Well, it looks like we've lost Elaine. I know. I think she probably, it may be internet.
Oh.
You know, again, Baba has his way with the internet. We suffer with the internet, but he's got the internet. All right. I didn't know if, Gopal, I see you have a wonderful young woman with you. Is she a young girl? Is she also a singer?
No, she's my granddaughter.
Yeah.
So
And what's her name?
say hi, I think, to everyone.
Hi.
Hi. What's your name?
Teju.
Beautiful.
Teju.
Beautiful.
Tejasvi, or in short, Teju.
Huh. Well, she's just beautiful. I'm so glad you're here.
You have a lovely smile, did you?
All right. Well, I think what we'll do then is, if we're all ready, we can ask Cathy. I know you were going to lead us in the final song, the 7 Names of God. So we can all mute and sing along.
Oh, good. So I have 2 friends who've come along to help out. So please, everybody, sing Baba's 7 Names of God with us. Adi Para
Ramas God Yazdan Hu Hari Paramatma Allahu 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 Ramas God Yazdan Hu. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. How about a moment of silence?
Could I also, I would like to dedicate our thoughts to Zoe and Jamie, who are passing through a difficult time, and wanted to have us be thinking about Zoe and Jamie at this time too, as well as thank you, Baba, for writing this beautiful music and inspiring us through the years.
Jai Baba. Thank you, Cathy. Our hearts are there. Thank you. Just a moment of silence. Jai Baba. If everybody would just unmute, we can say Ki Jai together. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Thank you, everyone. Cathy,
Thank you.
every contributor, it's just been wonderful.
Lovely, just lovely. Wow.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Mm.
All right.
Very lovely.